What's going on, everybody? Haven't brought a UFC video to you guys in forever, but we got the biggest card in UFC history coming up in about a week and a half. So we're going to go over that, our predictions, and just our overall impressions of what's going to happen. Got my boy Mike right here.
What's up, guys?
We've both been following UFC for quite a while, and we're just going to give our opinions on the card. First fight on the main card, we got Miesha Tate versus Raquel Pennington. What do you think?
Raquel, she is a brawler. I think she used to train with Ben Henderson.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but Miesha's a grappler. I think that from what we saw with Miesha Tate and Holly Holm, she was able to stand with Holly Holm, who's a world champion boxer and kickboxer.
Mm-hmm.
She can stand with a brawler. But you never know because she's going to throw wild flurries. But if it does go to the ground, Raquel Pennington, not so great. Miesha Tate, world class. Either way, I think it's going to go Miesha Tate.
I think Miesha Tate's got this fight. I think it's a big fight for her because she's coming off that loss from Amanda Nunes, which was dominant. I think she can come back from that. I think it's a good fight for her. I think she can get this. Back. She's on the main card at 205. This is a good fight to get her back at the top of the division, and I think she takes it.
I think so, yeah.
You think so?
I'm going Miesha.
Let's get it. So now we got Weidman versus Yoel Romero.
I don't think it should be that low on the card, honestly.
It's a huge
fight.
That's
an intense fight. That's a main event in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Weidman, nasty wrestler.
Filthy.
Great striker. Awesome grappler.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I think so. He's with
under Matt Serra.
But then we got Yoel.
I think he's Olympian judo.
He definitely has a strong judo
background. He is great judo.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy hands and power. Knocked out Tim Kennedy, who is incredible. Yeah, he's a fucking Marine or Army guy. But completely demolished Tim Kennedy, demolished Lyoto Machida.
Yoel's a beast.
Yoel's going to be able to negate the takedowns that Weidman has, I think. And if he catches Weidman once,
it's over.
It's going to be twice as hard as Luke.
Oh, way harder than Rocco.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough fight, but if Weidman can keep his distance, get it to the ground somehow, he can win on the ground, and especially if it goes later in the fight, he'll be able to take more advantage of Yoel because he's going to get gassed.
Yoel carries a lot of muscle.
He's a big boy.
Weidman just needs to play smart, pick his shots right.
Take his time. Be patient, and you can win this fight. This is your fight. It's in New York where you made MMA happen.
He needs to take him down, stay on top.
This is a big fight for him. And I want Weidman, and I think he can do it. I think it's a really tough fight, but I got Weidman in this one.
If Weidman can use his jiu-jitsu, if he can take him down, stay on top, and use his top game, I think he's got it, but I don't know if he's going to get that far. I think Yoel might catch him.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Now we got Cerrone versus Gastelum.
Amazing fight.
Another amazing fight.
I love this fight. I'm looking forward to this probably more than the rest of the card, honestly, because it's Donald Cerrone, who's been fighting forever. He's been wanting a championship fight forever. He's been looking crisp as fuck at 170. Gastelum, up and coming. He was on Tough. I've been following him since Tough. He's just a really humble kid. He's like our age, I think. He's like 24, 25.
He's around there.
But he's got it all. He can wrestle. He can do jiu-jitsu. He's tough. He can strike. He knocked out like Nate Marquardt, I think.
I believe so. But, he's a beast. He shows up to fight.
He's tough. He'll push on you.
He's surprised people. He's had surprising fights where like he's mostly comes in the underdog and he shows up.
He's always counted out, but I think this time he's
is he favored?
Yeah,
I could believe that. Cerrone though, his last few fights, he's been looking good at 170.
I think Cerrone's like hot and cold. Depends which Cerrone comes up.
The RDA Cerrone.
Not gonna do good.
Nah, he's gonna get fucked up.
Cerrone fought Rick Story.
He destroyed it. Like that combo is like out of a video game, straight up. Everybody's seen it, and it's unreal. If he hits anybody with that, and they're going out.
Yeah. If that Cerrone shows up, and Kelvin, the usual Kelvin, shows up, it's gonna be fucking fight of the night.
It's gonna be it definitely could be fight of the night. Overall, I'm gonna have to say I think Cerrone's got this one. I think he's going to show up motivated. It's the biggest card in UFC history. If he wants to he's already made a name for himself. He's been in the WC and UFC forever. But, I mean, if you want to keep moving up, this is the fight to win.
It is the fight to win.
And it's a big one for both guys. I'm going to have to say Cerrone.
I love Cerrone. I'm going to go Kelvin just because I want to see him make it.
Good. Now we got a title fight. We have Joanna versus Carolina. Not going to say the last names because
either of their last names because they're both Polish.
Yeah,
but
the Polish battle.
Carolina, I can't say I know too much about her. I just know they fought a long time ago.
They fought when they were
amateur MMA or boxing, was it?
I think it was MMA. I think it was in an amateur MMA fight and Joanna won.
Joanna won. And honestly, I think Joanna's going to win because
she can
wrestle. We've seen her wrestle against Carla Esparza, who was supposed to be the Ronda Rousey of 115.
She defended that takedown and
stuffed every takedown.
Pushed her against the cage and just
wailed on her.
Teed off on her. I felt bad watching the fight because of how bad that was. Yeah. But she's a beast. She's ruthless.
She's way too dominant.
I could see her retiring.
I wish we had seen more of Carolina prior to coming into this fight.
Joanna wanted this fight even before she was in the UFC. Before Carolina was in the UFC, because she asked Dana White to bring her in so she could beat her up in front of the world, and that's just badass.
Yeah, Carolina, during the extended preview for 205, she said that she's a changed fighter now. It's been years, but same as Joanna, she's getting world-class training now.
She's a beast. She's fast, she's quick.
She's training to stay on top. People are coming to take her down. She's training extra hard to stay on top, so I think she's got that extra push.
I think she's got it too. I mean, anything can happen, if Carolina won, I think it would be an upset. They're both undefeated. So, I mean, it really is anybody's fight, but in my eyes, I just see Joanna just taking this fight and running with it.
I don't see Joanna really going anywhere anytime soon. I hope not.
Nah, she's a beast. I love her. Then we got Tyron Woodley versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Big fight.
Really tough fight.
Tough fight.
I think it'll be quick. It's going to be tough for either of them, but it's going to be a quick one.
It's going to be...
If that makes any sense.
It's a crazy fight. Because Woodley, people are hating on him online. Even just because the money fight thing. He's like, I don't want to fight Steve Wonderboy Thompson. But then when Woodley was the number one contender, he's like, I want the championship fight. Right. So, I don't know there.
Really fair.
I mean, I don't hate on Tyrone. I really like him.
People are saying he's stuck in fighter. He's just going off after the money fights now. Now he's talking about McGregor.
Yeah, he's like, stay on my division. I mean, Tyrone's really just, I think he's trying to find himself as a champion right now. He's kind of just trying, everything. But, I mean, I like him as a fighter.
I think he's going through what, Jones is going through in terms of gaining respect.
Yeah.
Same thing with Anderson Silva. He went through this.
I feel like it worked way better for their personalities.
Dogged on him, but he's just trying to find himself and gain respect from fans. But anywho, aside from that, back to the point, I think Tyrone isn't anyone's Stephen Thompson is, I don't think this is someone that Stephen Thompson hasn't faced before.
Yeah, Johnny Hendricks.
Johnny Hendricks was very similar. Hard-hitting, really hard-hitting.
Literally demolished him. It was ridiculous to watch that fight.
Yeah, because we've never seen anyone do that.
He was amazing. He looked amazing.
GSP couldn't even do that.
No. Johnny Hendricks, that's such a controversial fight between them. You can see Wonderboy goes in against him later on in his career, of Johnny Hendricks' career, but literally ran him over.
Yep.
Very similar fighter to Woodley. Woodley's bigger, stronger, might hit harder. Good wrestler still, though, and that's what he's going to try to do.
Thompson's going to be a little awkward for Woodley, especially if he's trying to shoot on him, because he's not shooting on a side. Exactly, he's got a side stance, not squared hips, straight facing right to him. But and the last time we saw anyone kind of similar to Thompson face Woodley, which was Rory, he got wrecked. Rory completely demolished him.
But Woodley, I feel like he's changed almost. He's really motivated.
You never know. If Woodley tags Thompson, he might
get wobbly. But
Thompson knows how to keep his distance. He's a kickboxer.
He's really learned the MMA. You could see from the beginning of his career, he's training with Weidman and stuff, transforming from a kickboxer to an MMA fighter. He can defend the takedown. He can move around. He's more aware of what's going on.
Right.
So you've seen him develop, and he's just.
And then again, on Woodley's side, he's been training with Sage. But how effective is that? Sage is still young.
Very young.
But he's been doing
big karate background too.
Doing karate since he was a kid. So I think he has a lot to teach Woodley.
I think so.
We'll see how he absorbs all that information and applies that to his fight.
Overall, I like both fighters. I know a lot of people hate Tyron, but I like him. But I'm gonna have to go with Wonderboy Thompson on this one, just because of how he's performed so far in the UFC, because of the styles, and just I think he's gonna be able to pick him apart.
I'm going Wonderboy just because Tyron's cardio is at risk. We don't really know. His 3-round fight that we've seen was with Rory, got picked apart. Now this time it's a 5-round fight with someone who looks more crisp.
Who beat Rory.
So I'm picking
That'll be
Stephen
exciting.
Thompson.
Now the monster fight. Fight everybody wants to see, McGregor versus Alvarez.
Fight that most
Could
fans
change
nowadays
history.
only know about.
Most people only like to get to this part of the video to see what we say, but it's a big fight. It's crazy. It's McGregor's craziest fight, even over the Nate Diaz fight. Stylistically wise, this is insane
I think this is
for McGregor
McGregor's
to take.
scariest fight.
Definitely. Alvarez is a beast. He's been a champion of multiple organizations, then comes to UFC and dismantles RDA, who everybody thought was like a monster of the 155 division. Right now he's on top of the world. Now he gets the money fight. Now he gets the big fight where he can just prove that he really is the best.
Mm-hmm. I think Eddie brings to the table what no one else brought out of Connor's recent fighters. I mean, Nate's got the grappling. He's got
He's
the
more
awkward
jiu-jitsu though, not the
striking.
wrestling.
But Eddie has wild striking.
Throws
He comes
haymakers.
He comes in hot. He's always going to pressure Connor.
With those haymakers, Connor
wrestling. Nate didn't really try to wrestle Connor. He knew that was the game plan, or at least a way to beat Connor. He just didn't do it. He tried to stand with him. I hope Eddie, does something different if he wants to win. He's gonna have to take Connor down, stay on top, pound on him, not let him up.
As long as
he's gonna use cardio, which we know is Connor's, kryptonite maybe.
Still don't know.
Still don't know that. But I mean, if Connor tags you from anywhere, Gilbert Melendez even chimed in and said, "Connor, you got to be careful of his hits. He can hit you from any angle."
You really can. Connor's a beast. They both throw hard. Eddie's got the wrestling advantage, but he throws like haymakers, and they connect a lot. But I feel like Connor could exploit those. Like that left cross that he has can really just like counter a haymaker that he's throwing. And stamina is really going to be what's fishy because Eddie holds a lot of weight. But we've seen Connor gas before. He had like that second wind in Nate Diaz too. But I mean, who knows what's going to happen this fight?
It depends which Eddie shows up. Also,
yeah,
the Eddie that showed up against Cerrone,
not going to cut it.
No, or even the Cerrone, or even the Alvarez who showed up against who recently fight Pettis. I mean,
oh yeah, in Boston,
he played smart. He wrestled them, but
he went for the win. He didn't go for the finish.
Exactly.
And at some you probably don't.
Eddie goes for the finish. He's gonna push Connor against push his back against the wall.
It's crazy.
And that's not where Connor's good.
No. Against the wall against Nate Diaz is where Nate Diaz teed off on him. Even in fight 2, he was just slapping him across the face. But I think Connor's learning more techniques to get out of that situation.
Hopefully.
This is the biggest fight in history. Both of them are going to show up and be amped and give it all.
Yeah.
I think Connor's going to finish it. As crazy as it sounds, I think he's going to show up, and I think he's going to win. Eddie's a beast. I follow Eddie Alvarez forever, and I think he's a great fighter. I think Connor's motivated. I think he shows up to fight. He's true to his word. And stylistically, I think he's going to be able to hit him hard and finish Eddie.
As much as I love Connor, I've been loving Eddie just as long since he was in Strikeforce. I think he brings a lot more to the table. I think he's a lot more well-rounded and has a lot more tools to beat Connor. He has his wrestling, one of his kryptonites. Cardio, definitely one of his kryptonites. Striking, pressure. I mean, he's got a lot of ways to win. If he can find a way to put it all together and make it happen, it's Eddie's game.
Could be. If the night goes that way, it's definitely Eddie's. Yeah. We'll see what happens, guys. It's a week and a half away. Could not be more excited. We'll have a video up that night of us watching it and our reactions to see what happens. And let us know what you guys think are going to happen. These are just our opinions. You can share your thoughts. This is just what we think is going to happen. Let us know in the comments below. Have a great day, guys.
Peace.